Board of County Commissioners now in session. We have prayer followed with the pledge. Everybody mind standing? Heavenly Father, we just ask you this morning to anoint the county commissioner, all our servicemen, Lord. Bless all the orphaners. Bless everybody with a nice Christmas. We ask this in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have the minutes 10, 16, and 12-1.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion second on the floor. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. We have the payment of the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Department heads. Mr. Howard Neighbors.
Morning, Commissioner. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
We got the lights completed on St. George Island on the east end bypass.
Thank you.
We got all them up and holes packed out, so we should be good. In a ferry dock boat landing, we got it patched, which somebody recently tore a boat trailer up, I think. I didn't talk about it.
Yeah, we did an emergency patch there with some rock, I believe, some larger rock. Basically, we're power loading is what's going on down there. So this is a temporary fix. They are using the boat right heavily during the reshelling programs. How much longer that goes on, I don't really know, but it's workable now when they have the right tide. We are looking at, and the window hasn't opened yet to apply for an FWC boating improvement grant, but it's going to be my recommendation to you all that it'll be our next grant request is to redo the old ferry dock boat ramp because it needs to be deepened out and widened, made bigger, and so that will be our next request. And generally, the cycle opens in the spring, and so we usually hear about February, and usually we know about from February to May. We apply, and then it gets ranked, and usually what happens is that there's a two-step process, and so the first year of your boating improvement grant, if you get awarded, they do the engineering and design, and then the second year comes the construction. So we will be looking to you all to get permission to do an FWC grant in the springtime for that site.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
And our new employee that we hired is Mr. Joe Ham from Caravelle.
Anybody have anything for Howard?
Just wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas
New
to you,
Year.
Howard.
So,
Yeah, thank you for all you do throughout the year, and men and women.
And
Commissioners, I have one item off my report I want to bring up while Howard is here. It's item number 9. I need board action to authorize a request from Aerostar SES LLC to locate 2 monitoring wells in the Bluff Road right-of-way opposite Waddell Road. They have been contracted by Florida Department of Environmental Protection to install the wells to monitor possible contamination from a former underground storage tank on the Apalachicola Northern Railroad site. The top of the wells will be flush with the ground, so they will not present a traffic hazard. I sent you guys the copies and the site plan of that on your electronic package. So I just need board action to approve that request.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and second on the floor. All in favor?
Real quick.
Yes, sir.
If I might, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
This is actually out there in my district where they're trying to monitor it, as Mr. Morone said about the underground storage tank that used to be there. A lot of people in that area, they don't have city water, so they are on wells out there. So it's very imperative that we help them move through with the monitoring of this and make sure that nobody's wells are being contaminated out there. And if there's no contamination around where the former storage tank was, and there shouldn't be any ground contamination for the people's wells that live out in that area. So that's one reason I wanted to make a motion that we move forward. As we address Highwood Road Department, as I said, it's going to be flush with the ground, so there shouldn't be no hazard for our motor, our grass cutters and our mowers and stuff like that. So.
And these are temporary wells, so I don't know how long they're on the ground, they're not that long.
Looking at the site plan, there's 2 on the actual right away, and there's actually 2 on the Northern Railroad property, private property behind the fence there, where they're monitoring basically a big square out there to get a proper reading on that. So.
And Commissioner Watson, we've done this in other places. About 10 years ago or 20 years ago, there was a cycle time when all the gas stations had underground storage tanks that had to be replaced with double walled, and whenever you had one taken up, they had to be monitored. We did it on St. George Island several times. So this is kind of a common occurrence. When you take a tank out of the ground, you've got to do a perimeter check.
And during the work, Commissioner, they have any they're gonna have traffic stops, I'll try and let the board know so we can make the public aware of it, you know. So, drive it safely.
Those are my only comments, Mr. Chairman.
All right, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Anybody have anything for Howard? You have a Merry
No,
Christmas,
that's
Howard.
it. That's good.
Fonda Davis?
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Couple things this morning. As far as animal control, just want to let you all know that we're getting numbers of calls by barking dogs and that we do not have an ordinance for it, but we're trying our best to handle the calls as they come in. Just want to let you all know that we're getting them. And also, as on solid waste issues, I've been working with finance on the compactor situation. Franklin County received notice that the Florida League of Cities will issue an insurance payout of $170,429 for the complete loss of the compactor at the landfill now. This amount can be applied to the down payment on the purchase of a new replacement compactor, which is a purchase price of $551,712 from the Florida Sheriff Association bidding contract. According to the finance, the best rate that has been located so far is fixed rate, 8-year term at 2.89 with a down payment. The finance company called Leasing 2. If the board agrees to use this insurance payout as a down payment, the first payment of $52,807 will not be due until next year budget of 2016-2017 budget. I understand that Mr. Schuler needs to review this financing agreement prior to the board signing off. It's very important that we go ahead on, if the board will, please go ahead and make a motion today to get this compactor because of the holidays. We need to get this in motion, the compactor, but if not, then delay the time of getting it to us and we'll have to rent.
Yeah, I mean, the money's there, the motion is just for you all to approve the purchase, subject to his review of the contract.
We did receive 4 different, Aaron went out and got quotes from 4 different companies, trying to see which one would get the best rate, and that Leasing 2 did have the lowest rate.
Which company is this?
It's called Leasing,
Mhm.
number 2 after it.
What
But she
model is
also
it?
went to Caterpillar,
Caterpillar.
Financial, Centennial Bank, and People's South.
But
Just
you're
Leasing
gonna
2
buy,
get the
I mean,
best
he's gonna
rate.
buy whatever compactor you want, this is just what we're gonna pay for.
Oh, okay,
The reason
okay.
he's not telling us what to buy.
Oh, okay.
You know, just for the finance.
Okay, just for financing.
I'm gonna make a motion to go ahead and approve it, because they've got to have a
Yeah,
compact.
they got to have it.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor? All opposed? Motion
So, for the record, what are we buying, what kind of compactor?
It's an 826K Caterpillar. That's what we ran, Caterpillar.
Anybody have anything for Fonda?
Well, I got something else, Commissioner.
Okay.
The tipping fee has dropped tremendously for the household garbage, and the reason is that Waste Pro, the primary hauler, is coming in, and now they are taking the garbage to the neighboring county. So that's hurting us. So whereas, and I think with talking to Aaron in September, we took up the amount to collect $7,000 for household garbage. We usually take up like 13,000. So it's dropped a lot. I don't know if we could do anything about it, but I would like to see if the board would authorize Mr. Schuler to look into it for us.
Yeah, because this is a budget item as far as his revenue stream, so
Yeah.
he needs a certain amount of revenue stream to run his business, his operation, so when they take the garbage somewhere else, we're not getting revenue stream.
Yeah, we need to have the attorney looking at that and talk to Waste Pro contingent on the contract, you know, because they have a contract with us. So they don't need to be carrying our garbage to a neighboring county and we're losing revenue from it. So,
Losing half.
yeah, so I make that motion that we ask Attorney Schuler to look into it and come back with a.
Just out of curiosity, what is doing? I'm sorry. Do we know what they're doing? So is there a compactor over there that somehow cheaper operates that they're using over there?
Don't matter, Alan.
I know, just kind of what's their strategy?
I think what it is that they have the, I guess, contract with Upshur County to run the transfer station, and they build their own state of
Oh, I
art.
see.
Yeah.
And then see, Waste Management does our transfer station.
Exactly, and we supposed to supply so many tons
That's it.
with Waste Management, and by them moving over, our small haulers just don't bring in enough. And if that happens, we break the contract, we don't supply the amount of tonnage that we need to for Waste Management, then we won't have anywhere for our small haulers, local haulers to dump. So
Yeah.
we need all the tonnage we can get.
Mr. Schuler, if you don't mind, contact Mr. Ralph Mills, he's our representative for Waste Pro, and discuss this matter with him,
Yes, ma'am.
and tell him that we don't want our garbage taken to Gulf Camp, because that's not part of doing good business.
Yes, ma'am. I'll do that, Commissioner Sanders.
All right, I have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Anybody have anything for Fonda?
Just Merry Christmas to all of y'all,
Okay?
and thank you for what you do. You do a lot.
Are you gonna bring up the conservation?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and I just got mine this morning, it may have been delivered yesterday, but as we spoke last time, the Conservation Corps, which is a group, and their gentlemen, the muscle's right here, I didn't plan for the muscle to be here, but the muscle's right here in the office, in the room, to look at, to listen to us talk about the proposal they put together for the county to repair, they went out and did an evaluation of all the dune walkovers on St. Joe Drive. Some of those are 10 to 15 years old, and they, they're showing you age. So they put a proposal together to repair all those. I just got this morning, so my request to you all is let the staff look at it, give a recommendation. Their proposal is structured slightly different than I expected. Their proposal has materials and labor embedded. It's a total cost of $20,000. When I first talked to Joe, wherever Joe may be, I thought we were just talking about labor. I don't know if it's a big deal, because you gotta buy materials, but anyway, we need to look at this thing to see, what we can do. So I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate all the effort you put in here, the pictures and arrows and everything, so.
Well, they got
very
a
good
good show
proposal.
out.
Yeah.
And we need to try to find, if the board's gonna consider that, we need to try to find a revenue stream to pay it.
Right.
That's not in our budget, that's not something we were up for.
And
I don't wanna, myself, I don't wanna delete Fonda's budget so that we can't continue with our recreational programs such as baseball and football. So I don't wanna delete his budget to work to a point where we're gonna run into issues further down the budget year.
That's correct.
And we don't have anything budgeted for that, so we need to find a revenue stream. I understand the work needs to be done, and a lot of these guys, some of them are coaching Little League baseball and different things, so I know some of the individuals in the Corps, and I don't mind trying to help them, but we need to try to find a revenue stream that's, could actually do that. And I was thinking maybe, as it pertains to doing walkovers, just looking at something, see if the TDC could help some.
And things are positive,
That's basically tourist related, getting the tourists down on the beach and back and forth in a safe manner. So, that may be an avenue that we could look at to try to get some help and see if we can't put something together.
And I was also looking at Alligator Point having walkovers.
Right, 2 or 3 down there.
Maybe
We didn't send them that far, we wanted to just get a trial.
I'm just letting you know that we have dune walkovers there too, that was also built with TDC funds.
I think it's a great program, and hopefully we'll get the report back from you at the next meeting.
Should we, Ms. Sanders, you're a representative on TDC, should we make a motion that we ask TDC about that?
I mean, that's what we can.
Right there he is. I knew he was.
I mean, like us, they probably going to have to look over it, but,
Yeah, they do.
if we're gonna look over for 2 weeks, then we can allow TDC to kind of look over and see if they may can help us, we can help them to fund,
Yeah.
put some of these guys to work, from experience, and also take care of some of the issues for our tourists as the season is upcoming in a matter of months, March kind of kicks off with a chili cook-off and different things, and it's the perfect time to actually get some of these repairs done. So I'll make the motion that we actually request TDC if they can find some funding to help us
I'll second that.
get this project underway.
All right, I have a motion, a second on the floor for TDC to look for some funding. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to
Yes, sir.
thank Fonda. You and your staff did a great job on the East Point Christmas parade, getting the pavilion all cleaned up, and same for the lighting of the trees in St. George. Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming, I'll let them know.
Joe Fonda does a good job every year on that, takes care of it.
Appreciate it, Commissioner. It's a teamwork.
Team.
Good team.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything for funding?
Alan, let me ask Alan a question real quick while Fonda's still here. I mean, there may be an avenue talking to DEP or some of the state agencies about maybe getting some BP funding.
Yeah, the challenge there is BP, and I'll tell you all about it like the meeting with last night. It's a long process to kind of get, because you have to get everybody to agree to a project. And it takes a long time to get
We
everybody.
need to get this done before
Yeah, I
the
think
season opens, so that was just a thought.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, thank you, Fonda.
Thank you.
Ms. Pam Brownell, Emergency Management.
I'm sorry, Commissioner, Pam isn't here today, and there's one item that she needs me to get. There's an LMS meeting conference, so in fact, over at her office, and we have some of our staff members attending too, correct, Alan? So there's that, in your packet, she has the, apologize, she has the resolution adopting the LMS plan that she needs board approval on today.
The LMS is a list of projects that if funds available, and we have put the East Point lift station on there. So this is a list of projects that if we get money for it, I'm sorry, in order to help get money for it, we need to get points by being on the LMS. And so this is a thing that goes to once every 5 years.
It's pretty much like what Marquez does, the
Right.
capital improvement schedule, the same thing.
Same thing.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Everything else on her report is informational items. I do think isn't the East Point lift station, we put it on.
That's what I mean, it's on the LMS. Okay.
Eric Lovestrand. Good morning.
Sorry for the short sentence there in front of my report, but basically was just trying to say that this is a really short report because I've been working for the last couple of weeks mainly on all of the reporting requirements that the university has for our end of the year things. Do my major report of accomplishments and plan of work for the coming year. Also do a Sea Grant report for that part of the university programming and our workload reporting that the university has to justify all of their grant foundation funding and district extension director reports that need to go to him. So lots of time on the computer reporting for this last period. So I didn't have any action items for you this morning. If you have questions about anything, I'd be happy to.
Anybody got anything for Eric?
Yes, real quick, update on the facility there in Appalachia. We're still moving forward with that?
Yes, yes. I have a draft of the contract from FDAX for the legislative funding. They sent that to me last week, and we're routing that for signatures, so that should be forthcoming soon. They said they would have it by the end of last week, but I haven't seen the final signed copy yet. And we had architects on site last week and a half ago. They were doing all of the measurements required for their 80% construction drawings. And we're about to sit down at the table with our UF facilities folks and look at those drawings and start talking about value engineering and budget and overall costs and trying to get everything in line for the funding that we do have. Overall, we have about $600,000 total to work with for that project, so it's significant. The money from the legislature was very important, and then four different entities at the university are actually kicking in money into that pot. So it's moving along, and we should be starting construction, I'm guessing, within this next month or so after it's December. They said they wanted to start in January. I'm betting it will probably be February before we actually start on construction.
When I was going to be in construction in-house by University Tour, you did that.
They are contracting to a vendor that actually already had a state contract for construction, so they're piggybacking onto an existing contract, and that saved them a lot of time and effort.
So there might be some opportunity for local subs to get some work, you know?
Very possible. I don't know how they work all of it on the university side.
Well, that's certainly something the board would encourage, you know.
Yes.
Do we need to do a letter to that effect?
Or just say, have a motion today so that Eric knows that that's the interest of the board.
I'll make that motion.
I will pass that information on to the facilities staff at UF. Adam
So I have a motion second.
Yeah, I was waiting on to get to it. I'll take it.
The main contact from the university is Adam Boudreau. Some of you might know him. He worked on a project down here with the Healthy Gulf Healthy Communities effort. I think he worked on his PhD project related to working with the SMART team. And he is the second in command right now, I believe, at UF IFAS facilities. Normally, he would put this project to somebody that worked for him, but he took it on because he has personal connections down here and was interested in working on it. So I will pass your information request on
I'd like to
to
make
Adam.
a comment. It's probably a continuing contract that they have, that they don't have to go out through a bid process.
Yes, that's what they opted to do.
But there'll still be an opportunity for local contractors, I'm sure.
All right, I have a motion second on the floor. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Anything else for Eric? Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, all you as well.
Miss Ann Birchwell, Library.
Good morning, Commissioners. In the month, the library had its first meeting with a new teen advisory board, including teacher Miss Lydia Countryman. This board offers a teen voice of what they would like to see at their library. Their request for our first teen event included a workshop on how to use calligraphy and how to wrap presents. They said many of the kids don't know how to write in cursive. Teaching calligraphy give them a great opportunity to learn. We're calling it Wrap and Write. And it will be held this Saturday, the 19th, from 6 to 8 p.m. with parental permission. And it will be including games, hot chocolate, and fun for teens, and it's free. Ms. Leah Reeder is the new elected president for the Teen Advisory Board Council. The teens will be they entered a float into the East Point Parade, and we were real excited to have something to promote the library. Volunteer Frank Maselli has started teaching an adult piano keyboarding class at the East Point branch. And he would like to start a class intended for seniors. Anyone that would like to learn how to play piano should probably have a keyboard at home. For any information about these free lessons, people should contact the East Point Library. On Friday, December 18th, there's another happy hour for children ages 2 to 7. The children will be using the iPads that we received from the grant, and it's a great opportunity for parents to meet and learn more about our interactive iPads. And this is not in your report. I just found out on Friday that one of the grants that I applied for through PLAN, it's an innovation grant, Public Library Access Network, awarded Franklin County Public Library an innovation grant, Increased Vision for the Future. And Michael, I have this to pass out. This adaptive equipment is a 24-inch monitor that allows users to magnify a printed page up to 77 times, but it also reads aloud. This could be used for low vision patrons. It could be used for seniors whose vision may be changing, or for those who have difficulty reading. I applied for 2 grants, which 2 of these pieces of equipment, and I received an amount for one, which is $3,795. I'm grateful that we will have this type of adaptive equipment in Franklin County. It's the first of its kind. Carabel had a CCTV at the senior center that no longer works. So now people with low vision, I'm going to have to bring it back and forth between East Point and Carabel for the users of Franklin County. But I'm excited that we received this grant. And that's my report.
Yes, sir.
On the resurfacing of the parking lot,
That's the Friends of the Library,
Yeah.
and they're having something called Drive for the Driveway. And the Civic Club of St. George Island matched a certain amount, $3,800, and that will be going towards the resurfacing.
That's great.
Anybody else have anything for Miss Ann?
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas to
Christmas.
you too. Thank you.
Mr. Kirk Blair, TDC. It's hot here, ain't it?
Morning, Commissioners. Yes, we'll look at the dune walkovers. We actually paid for a number of them when they were first constructed, so it's not out of line. I was just reviewing the proposal, and I think I figured out that about $8,500 in materials, and the rest of it is in labor. I'm not sure. Do you want us to look at the whole piece, or were you just thinking of materials? You got a thought about that? Everything. All right. Just so I have a sort of a direction on that.
You know, Mr. Chairman, if I
Yes,
might,
sir.
you know, I was just looking at the revenue stream to try to improve these boardwalks, and we got a crew here that are looking for work, and I think it would be a good first project to see how it's accomplished, and you know, just trying to, and it's a perfect time, as I said earlier, with our season picking up in March. You know, they got a month and a half, 2 months here, maybe 3 at most to get it done. It's just I think it'd be good to try to employ these guys and improve our doing walkovers for our tourism. And, you know, if we all feel like it's tourism related, then it's reason we make a request that y'all look at it and see what you can do.
Well, we'll certainly do
If
that.
we can't do it all, then we'll try to find another revenue stream to try to match it or something, you know what I'm saying? We'll do what we gotta do to try to make it work for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to get back to you in January, so I'll give you some response to that. In response to a request you made last month, we were able to meet with, I was able to meet with Dolores Crum, and we went through her project and for Martin Luther King Day, and we were able to identify around $1,500 worth of marketing things, and she and I went over the list, and she was very happy that our board was able to direct some funds in that direction. So just want to let you know.
We do appreciate it.
There you go. You've received our materials in your packet, I believe. You have our collections report for the end of the year, which ended in September. I'll remind you that we're generally 45 to 60 days behind the period at the end of the month for collections. We ended up with over $1.1 million this year, which was the first time we crossed that threshold, which is exciting. And after all of the, as you look at that chart, after all of the ups and downs every month, which appeared to be dramatic in some instances, we did end up at just under 7% increase over last year, which is pretty much where we thought we would be. So we're happy with that.
Real quickly, Kurt, that's about, I think Bay County had like 7.2, so
Yeah.
we're right there as far
We're
as
right there.
our increase.
That's right. Now, there is an area that we'll be talking with you about further down the road, because we're just looking at it now. But, you know, the whole issue of for rent by owners and Airbnb raises some issues about whether everybody's collecting the tax. And that's been expressed at our board, and a couple of years ago, there was only 4 or 5 people that were on those programs. We've got well over 100 now. And so our board's looking at that issue and trying to determine if there's a way to get a better fix on, making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing and collecting the tax. So when they finish their discussions, we'll be getting with you and, trying to outline something we can do to make sure of that. It's an area that has potential both not only for TDC revenues, but for sales tax revenues. And oftentimes, if they're not collecting, the tourist tax for their units, they're also not collecting sales tax either, and that, of course, impacts on your budget. So we'll be looking at that.
That real quickly, Mike.
Yes, sir.
It not only is the right thing to do that everybody works across the board, but it also puts your realtors that do collect the tax, puts them at a disadvantage when it comes to renting places.
Absolutely.
So to me, it's not all about generating more revenue for the TDC, it's about equality and treating everybody the same so that one doesn't have the advantage over the other. Because if you allow that to continue, then you're going to see a lot more people pulling their homes and renting them themselves because they figure they don't have to pay the tax and the sales tax issue. So, I mean, it's a matter of equality for me and everybody playing on the same level playing field.
I'd like to comment too. I read recently that the Airbnb rentals in Orange County had agreed to pay the tourist development tax, which I think is there. And I know in the plantation we had issues because there's an entry fee for people who rent their houses. And we contacted each of the vacation rental by owners or Airbnb, because you could tell they were in the plantation, and contacted the owners of the property and got the tax or got the entry fee. So I think it's an issue of fairness.
And in many cases, they don't know. I mean, they're just renting out a room in their house, or their house a couple times a year. They don't often know. And so what we'll probably do is, notify them and remind them that that's a requirement of law, and that they hope that that'll let them participate voluntarily.
This is an issue statewide.
Yeah. I had a couple of issues, I guess action issues. We had sent you in your packet a memo that our board went through at our last meeting on the Camp Gordon Johnson construction project. And just in an effort to kind of make sure we move along with that project, we've provided you a memo that outlines what the TDC would ask that we include in their contract, and this was in part at the request of Attorney Schuler and he and I and the people at Camp Gordon Johnson have been working on this. Everybody generally agrees that these are the issues that should be addressed in this contract. But to remind you, this is the first time we've really had a construction project that the TDC has, you know, with a nonprofit that the TDC has funded. Mostly it's advertising and, you know, things for events. But this is the first construction project, and we want to make sure that, you know, that it's done right and all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. As a matter of reminder, we've identified $250,000 for as you had requested for the construction project. We've broken it into 2 years and 25 a year. But if we get to the summer and they're well along in their construction and they need the rest of it, we'll look and see where we are in terms of our budget to see if we can move that up into this fiscal year. We're looking to that the funds that are used from the TDC will be for the construction of a building and not for soft costs on the project. We wanted something that the board wanted something that would be identified clearly as a construction project. That it would be, we would look to distribute the funds much like a draw request. The way draw requests are handled in normal construction projects. We'd ask that Camp Gordon Johnson do a competitive bidding process on the selection of their contractor, that they would agree to the extent possible to use local contractors when they finally, you know, lined up their general and subs, that they obviously would carry the sufficient insurance, which is about $1 million liability coverage, you know, for the project and then for the building. And finally, that they would indicate in their documents a perpetual interest in the building and property in favor of the county in the event that Camp Gordon Johnson went out of business or the organization no longer existed. Now, there are some federal laws having to do with their tax exemption that says that they have to dispose of the property to other like organizations. And this would really put the county at the first, you know, would be the first stop along that way, so that you would have the option of taking the property rather, you know, first. So your interest would be. So those are the general subjects that we thought would be included in the agreement. I don't know whether Michael had anything to say about that, but we just kind of wanted to let you know what our thoughts were. And as I said, I've been meeting with the people from Camp Gordon Johnson, and they seem to be fine with this agreement.